One of the first steps to becoming more self-sufficient is learning how to cook from scratch. Today we'll be making this delicious and easy split pea soup for your family. Measure out a cup of dried split peas, then spread them out on a cookie sheet so that you can inspect them. Pick out any debris or peas that are inedible. While dried peas and beans are usually fairly clean, sometimes a bad pea or even a small stone can sneak into the package and you want to make sure you remove them. Rinse the peas well through a sieve and set them aside. Slice a half pound of bacon into half-inch strips and place it into a heavy-bottom pot on medium heat. Cook the bacon until the fat is rendered out and has become translucent. At this point, it will be about halfway cooked. Dice a medium onion and one stalk of celery and add it to the bacon. You can cut the vegetables into the size you prefer since you are the one in control of the soup. But you might want to keep the size about 1-inch square or smaller. Cook the onions and celery until the onions become translucent. The original recipe calls for a chopped carrot to be added at this time also, but I didn't realize that I'm out of fresh carrots, and since this is the pantry challenge, I can't go buy one. But that doesn't mean that I don't have choices. I can leave them out completely and it would still be a delicious soup. But I have some cooked carrots that I freeze-dried a while ago, and I'm planning to add these to the soup stock once I get it going. While baking is a science and you really need to stick to the recipe to get a proper loaf of bread or a lovely cake, cooking is more of an art, and once you learn what ingredients go well together, you can adjust about any recipe to work for what you have on hand and what you like to eat. Jessica over at Three Rivers Homestead has challenged us to eat out of our pantry without going to the store for the months of January and February. This seems like a daunting task, but her only rule is that you get to make up the rules. So some people are limiting the time they're doing the challenge to just 1 month or even only 1 week. Some have allowed themselves to purchase foods that won't keep for 2 months, such as dairy products or fresh fruits and vegetables. The idea is to get us to be more imaginative with our meal preparation by using what we have rather than running to the store every few days. I encourage you to join the challenge, even if it's only for a week, just to see what wonderful ideas you can come up with for supper. Once the onions are translucent, add 1 minced garlic clove and stir it continuously for about 30 seconds. Don't add your garlic too soon because it gets bitter if it's overcooked. Only add it when the onion has become translucent. Now add 1 quart of stock. I'm using chicken stock, but beef stock or vegetable stock would also be good. Use whatever you have on hand. Also add in your rinsed split peas and 2 bay leaves. The recipe also calls for 1 teaspoonful of thyme, but I used all my thyme a couple of weeks ago and forgot to replace it the last time I was at the store. Don't you hate it when you run out of thyme? Oh well, I'll just leave it out this time. I'm also adding about a cup of freeze-dried carrots now. Stir everything well and bring the soup to a boil. Once it is boiling, reduce the heat and simmer your soup on low for 1 to 2 hours. You will want to give your soup a stir every once in a while to make sure it's not sticking to the bottom of the pot. When your soup is simmered for about an hour, it should start getting thick. Taste your soup, and if the peas are still very firm but you're running out of liquid, you can add more stock or water. I had to add a cup of water when my soup was getting too thick, but the peas weren't quite cooked. After another 30 minutes of simmering, the peas were soft and the soup was done, so I removed the bay leaves, gave it a final taste, and added salt and pepper to make it perfect. Split pea soup is an ugly soup, but it is very delicious. Even the farmer said, it isn't horrible, which is high praise from someone who doesn't like split pea soup. But I love it, and my bowl was soon empty. Welcome to the old Mayfield place. Thanks for stopping by, and have a blessed week.